So I've been involved with the Apple spatial computing ecosystem for a while now and learned a few things building my own apps and other products. And in this video, I'll share with you some things I've learned, which hopefully would help you if you're thinking of jumping into the space, learning how this works. So the first lesson I learned was it might be better to go adjacent. Vision Pro at the moment probably has less than 500,000 units sold. That's a very small user base, right? It's not a huge market at all, which means if you're going for like consumer apps, at least commercially speaking, it might not be a good idea at the moment. The approach I'm taking is going adjacent, which means building solutions to problems today. The people who own it are mostly early adopters and builders, right? What problems do they have? One problem is it's really hard to know how to build visionOS apps. You have to learn like Reality Kit for the 3D stuff, Swift UI for the user interfaces. There's a lot of moving pieces to learning how to build visionOS apps, and it's really hard. So that's the problem I'm tackling. And I do that by building courses and educational products in my site called realityuni.com. That's the approach I'm taking, solving a present problem today for those who own a Vision Pro headset. Other people, they go B2B, leveraging the immersive capabilities of Vision Pro to solve problems in the laboratory. I know one person doing that, solving problems that there are today. Now, the second thing is there's a time to go all in and there's a time not to. Virtually everyone I know who is shipping products and producing actual output in this Vision Pro space is doing it on the side. No one has gone full-time yet. And the reason why I say this is because I've been getting quite a few emails, mostly from people in their early 20s. They're asking me like, I want to go all in on AR and build a big business idea out of it. For people like that, I really say with care and conviction that it might not be a good idea to go all in now. There might be a time, like probably 5-7 years down the line when this is growing mainstream and the ecosystem has evolved. When we're at that point or close to that point, it might make sense to take that risk. But right now, there really is no point in taking that risk, especially when the market is very small. That's the second point I want to make. There's a time to go all in and there's a time not to. And right now, it's not a time to go all in. And now this brings me to the next point, which is understanding the nature of bets. visionOS and Vision Pro, these are bets at the moment, right? I'm making a bet that this platform will succeed, and hence I'm jumping on it early and building stuff for it so that when it goes mainstream, you can ride the wave. But you have to remember that this is a bet. It's not guaranteed, which means it could either succeed spectacularly, in which case you'll do really well, or it could fail spectacularly. So you have to understand the nature of bets, that nothing's predictable, which mainly means have a fallback. And this brings me to the next point, which is that visionOS is the perfect side project. This is the kind of stuff that could define the next generation of technology, right? You see AI at the moment, suddenly out of nowhere when ChatGPT was announced, everyone knows and everyone's using it. All the hype is AI, right? It came like instantly. I'm telling you, there will come a similar point for AR and VR. There will come a time where we have a very steep pair of losses. And when that time comes, there'll be huge opportunities for people who are prepared. So for something like this, if you are on the side building and planting seeds for that future, it's what you call an asymmetric bet, which means the rewards are super high, whether in terms of a career or apps you build or whatever it is, as long as you get involved in some capacity, there's a high chance you could ride a very large wave. And at the same time, if you are treating it as a side project without investing all your life in it, that's a good strategy, right? Because you don't lose anything. So it's really an asymmetric bet. For consistent effort on the side over the long run, you could really reap huge rewards. And that's the approach I'm taking. Because if it works out, you have huge gains to reward. And if it doesn't work out, you don't get wiped out and you still emerge with some valuable skills, which if you strategize correctly, can complement your present day opportunities. Which brings me to the next point, which is I've learned that building synergies between your day job and your visionOS side projects, if you can build synergies in a way that they complement each other, that would be the best strategy. For example, by daytime, I'm an iOS developer. So anything I learn during my day job, it feeds beautifully into my side project, visionOS. And anything I learn in my visionOS work, it feeds beautifully and complements my day job and improves it. The day job wins, the side project wins. That way, if the visionOS bet doesn't work out, you not only have a fallback, but you improve whatever you're doing on the main. Now, all this might sound like a lot of planning and a lot of strategizing. Sometimes with these things, you cannot like think and strategize too much because the future might really surprise you out of nowhere. But at the same time, if you don't have a vision, you will go nowhere, right? So it's good to have a vision and a strategy, at least to guide the direction. Now, this brings me to the last point, which is you have to remember the big picture, right? Like, why are you doing it? For some of you, it might be financial freedom, the opportunity to create a lot of wealth for you and your team and your family. Certainly a part of my drive. And the other might be a higher goal, right? A goal above money, which in my case is an opportunity to shape the next level of reality, digital reality, that will be blended into the real world. Again, think of like smartphones, how glued we are to the smartphone every day. It really shapes our internal realities. And if you think of smartphone boosted up to 1000x, That's what spatial computing would be, right? Its effect on your brain would be 1000x more, which means if you have the opportunity to shape that future for the better, that's a great direction you could channel your efforts in. Personally speaking, I've shipped one visionOS app and about 3 courses on how to build Vision Pro apps on my site realityuni.com. And some point in the future, when this goes closer to going mainstream, I might divert more of my efforts to the app side. So that's it. Hope some of that was useful for you, and I'll see you soon.